Hey everyone, Matt here. Basically, today we're going to be checking out Sin City Family Values. Uh, this is probably my favorite Sin City story, just because it was the first one that was written as like a novella, I guess you could call it. But anyway, let's start. Alright, let's start with the first page, just because this is very interesting to me in terms of styles. Like, look at the car. That's something of a German beetle, bug, whatever, and it's fairly realistically drawn. And when you set it up against the uh, Jackson Pollock rain effect that Frank Miller likes to do in Sin City, you get a real sense of like heaviness. You get a sense of uh, like what the rain is like. It sets the mood. So I don't know if that's like rain or snow, but it's probably rain. But just like the idea though that like texture matters in art and mood, and it's like the Wachowski brothers spent, I don't know, like something like $5 million trying to make the equipment that'll make the perfect uh, raindrop for the final Agent Smith versus Neo scene in the third movie. So like just pointing this out to you, I feel like I gotta point this page out just because this is like Sin City Frank Miller. Yeah, let's see. Like start out here, like uh, gives you an idea who they're talking about in the first caption. Then it moves on to the second one. So like, you see how this correlates to here, and this one correlates to here, and then it goes down to here, and it connects them. Like the Frank Miller somehow manages to draw like more amateurish as he gets older, but still maintaining like master level. It's very deceptive. Like he knows how to do character, knows how to do tone, knows how to do like uh like seeing here. Like remember what I was saying before about Alex Toth, that if you just draw the outlines, it looks more realistic, and like that probably is very realistic, and the fact that it's just black and white like belies the fact that it's like there's no anatomy wrong with this, like that I could think of. I mean, I'm not a great judge of anatomy just because I'm a writer, not an artist. But anyway, goes down here this way, forms here, and like one, two, three, four images, and they all bleed into each other pretty well. But the thing I was gonna point out to you before, like consider like this, like the uh, panel gutters right here are very, I don't know about sloppy, but it's gives it the effect of um, like a memory almost. Like it's not. That's, or I would imagine that's what it's trying to. It's part of the story. So this is like the four basic images of what's being conveyed in this one that's important. So compare like these lines like right here and all that stuff that's giving you the best impression of sort of photorealism, because I really don't want to use the term photorealism with Sin City just because in this particular story there's one character with a schnoz that's more like a beak, and compare it to the tombstone, which is using like very basic images, very abstract and whatever. Like I said before, like super realistic in that sense. Like then you have character drawings like this, which is more emotive than, say, realistic, but the anatomy is there. So, basically what I'm trying to tell you with this page is, always be in control of your line work, because even though it looks haphazard, it's not. Like, he's giving you the perfect amount of space for the lighting on this one. It's very connected perfectly. Gives it a nice motion to, just like, goes from here over the girl, two guys, to the guy's face. So, and plus, if you want to think about it in terms of symmetry, like, you have guy's face, and you have a drawing using implied imagery to this one, implied imagery, right here. Like, you see the implied grass, you see the implied tombstone, then like, the fact that there's two guys right here, like this guy's right here, just because it would like, make it things a little bit more interesting, but the like, it could have been just this guy, but I'm not gonna nitpick it. So I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Miho in this book. The way Miller is drawing her in this book is, you have the black, the white as the background, foreground, but it's like implied texture. Like, you don't exactly know what kind of surface this is, but compare the way she's drawn with thin lines and all that stuff, and all that, compared to Dwight in the story, who is very heavy black. Let's see if we can find a good right, this is like Dwight right here, heavy black. Dwight, heavy black. Dwight, heavy black. And here we go. Here's a shot of what it's like to have two different types of characters that being drawn very particularly. Like, you have Dwight, heavy black, thought of white for shape and all that stuff. Meanwhile, Miho is the opposite. So, by just changing the way he draws characters, Frank Miller just added an extra layer of being dynamic to the page. Wish I was smart enough to tell you the words in my head, but basically, whenever you need a character to be special on the page, like, think about what Frank Miller did here, and he's a master at it in this book, of just drawing characters very simply, and getting like very intricate and detailed on the opposite end. Okay, so that was Frank Miller's Sin City Family Values. It's a good book, guys. Go check it out. Now on to back to Dogs of the City. So let's see. I think we left off here where Jacob Stiles is telling Tony that Charlie has a girlfriend, and Daryl is trying to figure out what's going on. And then it turns out that this girl right here, Charlie's girlfriend, is kissing Tony goodbye. So Charlie pulls a Batman and swings into action, knocking Tony out. So this is rising action again. So Daryl pulls Charlie out of there, and Jacob ordered a meeting between the two of them to settle out their problems. Now, I love how my artist used the black space around here for the negative space, and you see like Ilana, who is his girlfriend, and you see Daryl, who's like, "Oh shit, what the hell's going on?" And then you see him getting out of there. Now, I think what I gotta do in the future is I gotta change. Now, because it's gonna be in color, I'm gonna take that so it's not tangential to like this word caption right here. Like, I think a letter would kill me because like you see how close to the cutoff that is right there. Like that can't happen. That's getting fixed. This right here, I want to figure out a way to put it in right here, but not necessarily that. So, like, I want to, like, it's too, like, right here is a tangent, it's too in there. Like, I gotta figure out how to fix this. So, and the thing I gotta fix about this is, like, see how right here? Like, I gotta find a way so that's not, like that. So, like, it's all close together, it's like in one column. Like really good word caption, like lettering. Like there'd be more space here, less space here, here, and there. Well, this wouldn't be so far at the top. So this is gotta get fixed. All right. By the way, I'm a day behind, so I'm gonna finish up this story for you guys and walk you through it. So this scene right here, they're at a park, and basically, Daryl is saying to Charlie, "Hey, I'll fight," and Charlie's saying, "No, I got this." And right behind him is Tony, and Tony kicks him in the back of the head. Now, I probably should have had a panel saying that, like, between the two of them, but I gotta fix this when I'm gonna take this book apart page by page. I think I'm gonna, like, certain things I'm gonna break up into 2 pages, but I don't think I can do it with this one. But I might make this bigger. I might do something with this because I love this panel right here, but it's not working to full effect. So but I just love the setup of it. This is probably my favorite exchange in the book, in that like when I tell people about the choreography in this book, it goes from A, B, and because of A plus B goes to C, and because of C, D, and because of D, E, and then that's the end of the first round. That's the way I like to think of it in this book because of like set pieces and choreography. So then it goes back into the story, which is why they're fighting in the first place. Was Tony was seeing Ilana, Charlie's girlfriend, first. Daryl didn't know. Then uh, turns out Tony has about 8 girlfriends at any time, and like I think once this is in color, I'm going to change up the sound effects so it's not simple black and white like this. And this is going to be better outlined. So this is the start round 2. So they're not paying attention. Charlie's on the ground, goes for it, and tackles, and then boom. Tony's back up, and he's beating the shit out of Charlie. and Jacob is like chastising him the whole time, calling him a slutbag and uh, all that, telling him he should be apologizing. So Charlie gets Tony from behind again and throws him over the rail. And a little bit of comedy right here. Uh, if you've ever seen like old cartoons like Looney Tunes, you'll know like you show the guy from the waist up in the water splashing around. It's like he can't swim, and meanwhile, I think it's like only a little bit of water. So Tony, after being thrown off a rail, apologizes and all that stuff. And Charlie, like airs his grievance after he's gotten the violence out of his system. The so this is like the come to Jesus moment where it's like, all right, they've said their piece, they pick each other up, and they all walk home. So, and these are really short stories, so I try to put characters into them, and that's like the kind of language they use, like what people say about them, and I gotta fix this shit because I like certain word panels are cut off again, like that. I'm looking forward to that. Gotta put tails on these balloons, all that stuff. So, like the running joke about this book is gonna be that Tony, seeing about 8 women at any time, is gonna need a STG check at any time. So everyone calls him a slutbag, which, don't get it wrong, this is a like male term that like people in my area have used before. Like it might be a regional thing, but like it's like the combination of douchebag and slut, which is like so it's a bit. I'm only using it on guys, so like I don't want anybody getting it twisted. All right, next time I'll let you guys in on Joker's Wild Night.